following the class, feel free to unmute yourself or put a little message into the chat box. And then I just felt, I haven't done a chair class for a while, and for some reason, I was feeling maybe it's just sort of all the moving and picking up boxes and that sort of thing. I'm just kind of aware of my lower back at the moment, aware of my neck and shoulders. So it just felt like this might be the right prop to use, like offer us some nice modifications of the work that we do. So you don't even need a mat. If you've got a mat, that's great, but you don't need it. What you do need is a chair or a stool that is quite stable, that you don't feel that it's going to roll around or tip over easily. Okay, so please come up, and we're going to sit in the chair, and you can sit in a comfortable position. If you want to come right back so that your back is fully supported, you can as well. It is important that your feet are grounded. So if you feel like your heels are lifting, if your chair is really high, then I'd recommend you put like a cushion or a block or something underneath your feet. And then I just want you to place one hand onto your belly and place one hand just into the middle of your chest where your heart is. And then take a moment to close your eyes and start to bring your awareness to your breathing, allowing each inhale and each exhale to slow down slightly. Take a moment to soften around your eyes, releasing any frown lines, any worry lines. Soften your jaw, your lips, and your tongue. And as you breathe, notice the movement of your chest and your belly underneath your hands. Feeling the lift of your ribs and your sternum with each inhale. Feeling that gentle response of your abdominals as you breathe in without forcing it out. And then with your exhale, perhaps noticing a gentle tensioning of the abdominals, a natural tensioning, and that softening of your ribs and your sternum underneath your hand. Stay with your breath, and turning your gaze inwards, start to visualize that expansion from the inside out as you breathe. That inflating of your lungs, internal stretch, and then with your breath out, allowing the air to escape and feeling a softening and internal release. Scanning through your body from head all the way down to the tips of your toes. Observing any areas of tension that you may be holding this morning. Allowing yourself to settle into your skin. And on your next breath, gently opening your eyes, blink, bringing yourself back into your space. So from here, just allow your hands to rest lightly on your thighs. And we're just going to start a little bit of a sliding action of one hand coming down to the knee and one hand coming up towards the pelvis, and then slide the other way. So you can really feel your hands tracing up and down the tops of your quadriceps. And then with that arm movement, allow your spine to begin a gentle spiraling action. You might need to come a little bit forward on your chair if you feel that the backrest is stopping your movement. So there's a gentle twist through the lower back, and maybe your rib cage is starting to turn slightly now as well. And then allow the movement to become a little bit slower and a little bit more luxurious. And maybe you can start to look over that shoulder. And bring your awareness again to your hands. Allowing your hands to guide the spiraling movement. Maybe do a little bit of a push on the knee and a little bit of a pull on your hip. And let's just take one more. Come back to the center and pause here. You're going to place your right hand, so I'm doing opposite for you. Sweep your left hand up and just start to do a little bit of a sideways lean over. Come all the way back up, and now switch, holding on with the left hand, right hand comes up, and we do a little bit of sideways lean. Come back up, and again, reaching up and over, long lateral release, beautiful. And keep going side to side. Keep connecting your movement into your breath. And then taking your right hand up and over, just one more time, stay here for a moment and just turn your head to look down. Getting that little release through the back of your neck, so you're not forcing. We're just taking 3 inhales and exhales and bringing awareness into the side body. Last 2. Feel free to soften your elbows if you need. Last 1. Bring your eye line back to the front and coming all the way up. Switching over to the other side. A little bit of a sideways stretch. Pause here. Turn your head to look down. And again, bring awareness to your breath and feeling that opening and release along the side of the ribs. Taking just a few more. And then bring your gaze back to the front and coming all the way back up. Wiggle yourself quite close to the front of the chair. And you're going to keep your hands on the chair so you have balance. And we're going to do what's called the caterpillar with our feet. So you're going to dip your toes in and then pull your heels forward and then uncurl your toes. Dig your toes in, curl the heels forward, and release. One more time. So you're inching your feet forward and release. Now we're going to go backwards. So keep your heels grounded as you tuck your toes and then push back. Tuck toes, push back. So we are working the intrinsic muscles of the feet and hold it there. Go forward again. Curl and release. Curl and release. One more, curl and release, and we go back again. So for a lot of us that never go in bare feet, if you're wearing shoes a lot, this is quite a workout for our feet. And then come to the center and you hold it right here. Let your arms relax. Make sure that your knees and feet are slightly apart, and we're going to do a roll down. Look down towards your lap, and then feel the rounding of your upper back, mid back, and then maybe if your lower back is feeling okay with it, you can go all the way down. Maybe your fingertips touch the floor, maybe they're hovering. Stay for a second as you breathe in, and then exhale, roll all the way back up, and lifting up nice and tall. We're going to do 2 more, and look towards the ground, feeling that articulation of your spine, standing firmly on your feet. Pause for a moment, and then unravel, coming all the way back up, lifting tall. One more time, look towards your lap, curling through the spine, and feel the weight of your arms. Feel that opening, that widening of the scapula on your back body. And then rolling all the way back up and lifting nice and tall. Bring both arms straight out in front of you. Palms are still facing each other. We inhale. Now keep your hands in your periphery, so don't let them go behind you. And then exhale to bring them together and connect each fingertip to its partner. And again, breathing in. Expand wide. And breathing out. We're going to do 2 more. So it's a very different sensation when you're sitting upright. There's more work on the top of the shoulder girdle as opposed to the chest. One more time. Breathe in. And exhale, bringing arms forward. Separate your hands just slightly and hold them there. Now we're going to do a little bit of a roll back action. So sit to the front of your chair. Start to curl your tailbone under and start rolling just a little bit backwards until you feel that there's a connection in your abs. If you can go all the way back to your back rest, then great, but don't relax. And then curl forward and lift up tall. And again, draw your tail under. There's a feeling of flattening the abdominal wall. Take a little breath in. And then exhale, forward you come. And lift up straight. 2 more. Curl back. Pause, keep the tension. And forward. Lift up. One more time, curling back. And now I just want you to hold it here. Keep that connection and see if you can open your arms again. Breathe in. Exhale. Can you feel it's a little bit more challenging, yeah? And again, inhale. Breathe it out. 2 more. Breathe in. And exhale. One more time. Breathe in. Exhale. Separate your hands just a little bit and then roll forward and lift up straight. Good. Now take your hands, place them just at the top of your pelvis, or you can hold onto the chair. And we're going to start to reach 1 foot forward, placing the heel to the ground with the toes lifted, and then hinge forward until you feel straight in the back of the leg. Come back up and switch to the other side. And switch. So keep alternating sides. It's not about rounding your spine and taking your head to your knee. It's about lengthening your spine, hinging from the hip. And that means you're going to get that beautiful stretch down the back of the leg in the hamstrings. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. And on this last one, keep your leg forward. Hold it here. The same arm as leg. Take your fingers and slide them down and then up the baby toe. And again, slide your hand down the back of your leg and up the baby toe. Using your breath. Last two. Last one. And switch legs. Reach forward, hold it there, make sure you have balance. Same arm as leg, down the outside of the leg, and then over the baby toe. Last two. Last one. And sitting all the way up. Placing both feet firmly to the ground. Taking arms out to the side. You're going to hook your right elbow under the left. I'm doing a mirror image for you. Right elbow under. You can stay here, or you can start to place your hands a little closer, or you might even be able to bind your hands a little bit. So lengthen along the back of your neck, so it's almost a feeling of tucking your chin in a little bit. And then you're going to do a slight lift of your fingertips towards the ceiling, and then soften and allow the elbows to come back down. And again, using your breath, notice where you're getting a stretch on this side. So I feel quite a strong stretch on the inside edge of my scapula. Keep breathing. Last one. And release. Unbind your hands, bringing arms all the way out. Pause for a moment. You feel all that rush of blood, that circulation through your arms. And now other side. So you're going to hook your left elbow. Doesn't matter if you've reversed it, as long as you do the other side now. So either bring your hands a little closer, maybe find a little bind with the hands. Lengthen up along the back of your neck. And then we're going to do just a little bit of a lift and release. So if your hands are here, that's absolutely fine. Then you can do that little lift and lower of the elbows like this. This is called eagle arms. It can be a very, very intense back shoulder opener for people. Keep it small. One more time. And release. Unbind your hands. Breathe in. Reach out to the side. Feel the energy, the circulation, and then releasing all the way down. I want you to walk your feet close together, so you've got your knees together, and you're going to take your hands in a prayer position, and your elbows are going to be straight. So bring your hands down the left side of the knee, just to there, and come back up. So it's almost like you're chopping wood down the right side, and come back up. So you're alternating. And you're not rounding your spine, you're hinging forward from the pelvis. And now, bring your hands down and stay there. It doesn't matter which side. Keep your one hand glued to the knee and start opening the other arm. Turn and look up, and then come back, hands together. Reach up. And now, placing hands down the other side, glue the one hand, and start opening up across the chest. And release. Come all the way up. And you slice your hands through the air and open. Long spine. We're not rounding our spines here. So by keeping the energy through your tailbone and the energy through your crown, it means we have the capacity to rotate and spiral the spine. Now see if you can start to reach perhaps a little bit lower. And lift. So instead of having your hands right next to your knee, maybe you can bring your forearm down towards the knee. We've got two more. Just explore the range for yourself. Squeeze your knees together. Last one. And open. And come all the way back up and placing hands down. Pick up your right leg. I'm going to do a mirror image for you again. Cross your ankle over. And then I want you to put one hand just below the knee joint, on the other hand just above. And I want you to always do this ringing action. So it's almost like you're going to move the muscles outwards over the bones. So one hand is almost wringing the calf muscle out, and the other hand is wringing the quadriceps out. So we're actually moving fascia a little bit. You're giving yourself a bit of manual release. And we're going to do one more time. And stay where you are. Square your shoulders, level out your pelvis as much as you can, and then just start to lean forward and come back up. And again, lean forward and come back up. Can you feel that release in the hip? Now, I know some of you are super duper flexible. You've probably got your knee all the way down and going, okay, well, why am I doing this? I'm really feeling it. So is Edith, by the looks of it. So just bring yourself into a position and a stretch that feels good for you. Last two. Last one, make sure your knee feels okay. And now we're just going to lean forward and I want you to stay there. If you are one of those flexible people, maybe you want to come all the way down so you can rest your head. I'm not one of those people, so I'm just going to stay right here and attempt to breathe. A few more seconds. And then slowly come all the way up and help yourself as you bring that leg all the way down. Pick up the other leg, crossing ankle over the knee, letting your knee settle out. So one hand below the knee joint, one hand above the knee joint, and you just wring those muscles out. So guys, a lot of what I'm doing is based on a method called gyrokinesis. You've heard of it. So gyrokinesis is based a lot on spiraling movements. It's about creating mobility around the joints. And it's a beautiful complement as far as I'm concerned for Pilates, which is very linear and stable. Also beautiful to bring these spiraling movements into things like yoga and other disciplines. So they all interweave so nicely. And then hold it there. Square shoulders, level out your pelvis. And you're just going to do a little bit of a lean forward and release back. And a little bit of a hinge and release. And you might actually feel that your pelvis gets more range as you do a few more repetitions of each of these as well. No forcing. Let your breath guide you in and out of the movements. Last two. Last one. We're going to stay forward this time, and you're just going to settle yourself into a stretch. Remember that you can come forward, you can put your hands to the ground, you can put your head to your shin. If that's your flexibility, then allow yourself that experience. A few more moments here. Taking one more breath in and out. And then exhale, release, and unwind, and placing both feet to the ground. So now come a little bit forward on your chair, and you need to hold on. You're going to do that little bit of a roll back action so that your abs are connected. And I just want you to see if you can hover your feet off the ground. So you'll feel immediately if you need to come forward on your chair, if you need to come back. Maybe you need some more ab connection. So make the adjustments that you need, because now you're going to stretch your legs out, squeezing your bottom, separate your legs and bring them in together. And again. And circle around. And squeeze. Circle around. So getting that beautiful connection into your lower abs. And stretch. Let's go for 2 more. Let's go for 1 more. And legs together, place both feet down. Come all the way up just for a moment. Everyone okay? You're going to do another set, but we're going to change the circles this time. So hands onto your chair, curl back, get yourself to a place where the abs are working, and then see if you can just lift your legs up, make the adjustments that you need. This time, open your legs and squeeze them around, bend. Open, squeeze. Now, connect your breath. That's it. So it's almost like your feet are just skimming over the floor. Last 2. Last 1. Bend your knees, placing feet down, coming all the way upright. Nicely done. Now, come back a little bit, separate your feet, and then bring your feet a little closer towards you. So you might even feel that your heels are lifting up slightly. Hands onto the front of your thighs. I want you to look towards the floor and hinge forward so that you almost feel like you're about to stand up and you can get your feet flat. And then let your body hinge back and bring your eye line up. Hinge forward, look down, standing on your feet, and then release back. Eye line comes up. Now we're going to actually stand up. Hinge forward, press into your feet, and then push, and up you come. Bend your knees, look down, and then sit, and back you go. Look down. Hinge forward, use your hands on your thighs to help. And hinge back, look down, and back you go. We're going to do 2 more. So you notice how I'm cueing the eye line down, and then your eye line brings you up. You're going to sit down, your eye line comes down, and then you sit, and your eye line comes up. This is part of something called pillar work. Look down, up you come, and then look down and sit up straight. Now, keep your hands there if you need the help. Otherwise, arms beside you. Hinge forward, let your hands come up and release. Hinge at the hips, look down and sit back. And hinge and up you come. So it's almost like origami. Does everybody know what origami is? So it's that Japanese art of folding paper. And we're folding ourselves and back down. One more time. Origami standing up. And origami folding and release. Good. Now come a little bit forward on your chair again. You're going to turn sideways. So I'm bringing my left leg in front. You can do whichever side you want. And I just want you to send the right leg back a bit. So if you've got your front foot flat, that's great. If it's on the toes, doesn't matter. You want to tuck the back toes under. Get a little bit of a tilt of the pelvis. Put your hand wherever it feels good for you. And now the same arm as the back leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. And again, breathe in. Breathe out. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Come all the way back around. Go over to the other side. Make sure that you separate your thighs nicely so you get that opening in the hip joints, adjusting position, and the outside arm. Breathe in. Breathe out. And again, inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Getting that little stretch on the back toes. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out. Bring yourself all the way back. And now this time, you're going to hold your legs nice and wide. That's it. Make sure that your feet are grounded. I want you to push away from your right foot and feel how your body shifts to the left. Push away from your left foot and feel how your body shifts to the right. So push away from your foot and push away from your foot. So remember the seaweed that we always do in class? Usually we do seaweed with the arms. Now we're doing seaweed with our bodies. Pushing through the feet. And now you can start to make it a little bit bigger if you choose. You can add that side bending of the spine. Remember that your head is just an extension of your spine. It's a giant vertebra. Side to side. Taking just a few more. Beautiful lateral movement of the spine. And remember, it's all coming from your feet. And then allow yourself to come all the way back to center. And then toe heel. Bringing your feet just about hip distance apart right here. Taking both arms forward. Shoulders are easy. We scissor the arms. Just felt a lovely click in my mid-back. I obviously needed that little adjustment. That's it. So arm scissors. And again, very different sensation of the muscles that are working when we're upright, as opposed to when we're lying on our backs and gravity is working on the muscles. Last one. And bring both arms straight forward. We're going to interlace the fingers and place hands just underneath our occipital bone. So give yourself almost like a little bit of a traction stretch and then relax the shoulders. Let the elbows go where they need to. I'm doing mirror image for you. You lean over towards your right. And now round your spine over. Come over towards the left and sit back up into the center. Lean over to the left. Round your spine. So you're feeling that movement around the thoracic area and the rib cage. Leaning over to the right. So you're alternating sides. And lift tall. Good. One more time. Lean to the left. And a little bit of a rounding action. Oh, such a nice stretch for the back of the neck. Come all the way up and pause right here. We're going to start to draw figure of eights with our elbows. So I'm drawing a circle on the wall with one elbow and then a circle on the wall with the other elbow. That's it. So keep your eye line to the front. And allow the spiraling of the elbows to translate down to a spiraling of the shoulders. Allow the spiraling of the shoulders to translate into this beautiful figure of eight movement of the ribs. And then allow the movement of your ribs to translate into that spiraling action of the spine. Now, you can keep this super duper small if you want, or you can make it quite big and luxurious. So I quite like to allow my pelvis to get involved. And as long as your feet are staying grounded, then you can allow everything else to move. Let's just take a few more. Come all the way back to center. Hold it for a moment. We inhale to reach all the way up. Exhale, open your arms wide, 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 wide. All the way down you go. Beautiful. And then just roll your shoulders back and around a few times again. Nicely done. So once again, bring your feet a little bit closer. You can have hands on knees or beside you, and we're going to stand up. Lean forward and coming up. Now you're going to stay here. So you can walk around to the back of your chair. I'm just going to move my chair this way so you guys can see what I'm doing. And you're going to be using the backrest as a little bit of support. So stand with your feet parallel, slightly separated, light fingertips, eye line lifted, and we're going to just bring our body weight a little bit forward on the toes and rise onto the balls of the feet. And then we're going to lower the heels down with control, stand, and now bend your knees just halfway. It's called a demi-plie. So your spine is upright, the heels are down, and then you straighten the legs. And again, rise, and lower, demi-plie, and straighten. So as you rise, can you feel the calf muscles working? Maybe up the back of the leg, the hamstrings, the gluteals. And then when you bend your knees demi-plie, it stretches the calf and the Achilles. And release. And we're going to do 2 more. Rise. And lower. Demi-plie, a little bit of a bend. Watch the tracking of your knees. And last one. Rise. I want you to stay here for a moment. Connect abdominals, focus your gaze, and see if you can take your fingers off the backrest. If you lose your balance, then please feel free to put your hands down again. And then lower your heels. And now bend your knees into a demi-plie and stay there. We're going to do tiny, tiny, tiny little bounces. Tiny little bounces. So for those of you that have done a lot of work with fascia, this is actually training the elasticity. Basically, it's training strength into the fascia. Last 2, and then straighten both your legs. Now make a little V position with your feet. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. You can also turn sideways, or you can stand facing that way. So you're going to keep the heels together as you lift them up. Don't let them separate. And then lower the heels down again. And again, a little bit of a lift. Keep the heels together. Can you feel how much inner thigh control it takes? It's not a big lift. And then lower the heels down. One more time like this. Just lift the heels, keeping them glued together. Inner thighs are working. And then lower. Now we're going to add on. Come into the same position where the heels are together, and then continue lifting and allow the heels to separate. And then heels together, lower down, and now demi-plie where the knees go out over the second toe, and then you straighten. Lifting heels, let them separate. We rise. Heels together, down, and demi-plie. And straighten. Okay, ballet 101, guys. Rise. And heels touch on the way down, and then demi-plie. And straighten. Last set. Rise. Beautiful. Abdominals connected. Can you stay? Perhaps you can let go. Have you got your balance? Beautiful. Focus your gaze. Core connection. Putting your hands down. Lower the heels. And then bend your knees. Demi-plie. We're going to stay here. And gentle, gentle little bounces. That's it. Few more. Make sure you've got your knees out over the second toe, that they're not rolling in like this. Good. And straighten all the way up. Fantastic. I'm going to turn sideways again. Put your hands on the backrest of the chair and just start to walk yourself back. You're going to have your feet slightly separated, and you're going to bend your knees and just start to allow your body to sink forward between your arms, but you're not dropping. You still have a connection on the underside of your body. And then you're just going to start to straighten one knee and bend the other. And then alternate, straighten one knee and bend the other. Keep breathing, gently walking it out. Allow your pelvis and your shoulders to gently respond here. And then you can straighten both knees as much as your flexibility allows. And then bend your knees round your spine and walk yourself all the way forward. Releasing hands, we inhale, reaching all the way up. Connecting tips of fingers, and then opening arms, bringing it all the way down. Fingertips to the back of the chair. Start to walk yourself back. And this time, bring the feet together so the inner thighs are connected. Bend your knees slightly, lengthen your spine, make any adjustments that you need. Now, what I want you to be aware of is that the shoulders are working here. So there's an external rotation of the shoulder and a lengthening of the spine. And again, you start to bend one knee as you straighten the other. So it might be a smaller range of movement now that the legs are squeezed together. Last two. Last one. And then straighten your legs as much as you can manage. Hold it there. Now soften your knees. Stay as you are. Balance on the right leg and just pick that left leg up. Hold it for a moment, keeping balance, feeling that right bum switching on, and then placing that left foot down. And now, picking up the right foot so you're standing on the left leg. Keep looking down, abs connected, left bum firing up. Standing on both feet, round your spine, and walk yourself all the way forward. Releasing hands, we breathe in. Reach up, and exhale. All the way down. Last set. Fingertips light on the chair. Start to walk yourself back. We're keeping the legs close together. Bending both knees, set yourself up with the shoulders, balance on the right foot, and pick up the left leg. Start to extend the left leg all the way back, flexing the foot, energy through the heel, and then are you able to straighten the standing leg? Holding it here. Feeling that T shape of the body, energy through the fingertips, energy through your crown, energy through the back heel. You are rooting into the right standing leg. Bend the right knee, bend the left knee, and step your feet together. Both knees are bent. Pick up the right leg and balance. Extending the right leg back. Straighten the knee as much as you can and flex the foot. It's strong. Start to straighten the standing leg if you can manage, keeping your pelvis and your shoulders level. Abdominals are connected. You're still breathing, I hope. One more moment. Bending the standing knee, bending the right knee, stepping feet together. Walk yourself all the way forward with a rounded spine, lifting up and tall. Release the hands. We inhale, reach up. And exhale, bringing arms all the way down together. Nicely done. So now again, I'm going to move my chair. And all you're going to do is lie on your back, facing the chair. And you're going to have your feet supported on top. So get yourself into a position where your lower back feels good. Knees together, feet together. And then lengthen out through your spine, bringing both hands straight up towards the sky. And we start to draw tiny little circles with our fingertips on the ceiling. It's almost a stirring action inside the shoulder joint. So you're just lubricating the shoulder. And then we change and we go the other way. Tiny little circles. Feel the width of your back. Feel the ground supporting you underneath. And then pause, interlace fingers, hands go underneath your head for support. Take a moment to wiggle out your spine as we get ready for a chest lift. Hovering your elbows. On your breath, curling ribs towards your pelvis. Upper abs are working, there's no pulling on the head. And then releasing gently down. And again, nod your chin. Using your breath, slide your ribs forward. And releasing down. We're going to do 6 more. And what's so lovely about having your feet lifted is that there's a natural imprint of the lower back. So for a lot of us, this is a much more comfortable position to work in. But also, having your feet fully supported, you're not having to work to keep your legs lifted. So it's a lovely way to release the iliopsoas. Taking 2 more. And on this last one, coming up into chest lift and releasing all the way back. Stay here for a moment. Just press your elbows back, getting that opening along the chest and the shoulders. Letting your ribs pop up very slightly. Take your hands out. And you can reach your hands out to the side in a T position with the palms of your hands facing upwards. And then walk your heels to the edge of the chair. Flex your ankles, knees together, ankles together. Start to roll your legs towards the left. And you're going to feel the right hip lift up. You're going to feel the right foot lift up as you roll across. You won't be going very far. And then exhale as you come back to the center. And now rolling over towards the right. So you're keeping your foot, your one foot, connected to the chair and just getting the spiraling through the lumbar spine. So it's not a massive movement. Using the obliques, eccentric and concentric work. Chest open. Last 2. Last 1. Exhale, come back to the center. And now bring your hands beside you with the palms down. Bring your feet to the edge of your chair. Now, you can decide, you can have the arches of your feet on the chair, or you can put your heels on the chair and flex the ankles. Just see what's most comfortable for you for a pelvic curl. Tilting your hips, starting to roll up into your bridge position, and look at your range of movement with the feet lifted. So you can come up much higher than normal. Take a little breath at the top, and then work your way down through the spine. Feel the imprints. If your calf muscles are cramping, then I would recommend you put your heels on the chair with your toes lifted back. So just play with it. And again, exhale, little tilt of the hips, rolling up, squeezing with the bum cheeks. Pause at the top, feel that opening of the hips. And then melt your way down through your spine. Placing each vertebra and release. And we're going to do one more time. Tilting hips. rolling up, feeling that lift from the base of your pelvis. Wait at the top for a moment, take a little breath, and then you get to work down through your spine. Imprint and release. Hug both knees to your chest just for a moment. Slip your hands behind your thighs, flex the ankles, breathe out as you stretch both your legs as much as you can, and then bend your knees and release. Do that again. Exhale, stretch. Imagine that you're going to stand on the ceiling and release. Now stretch your legs and bring your head towards your knees. Chin in, stretching the entire back line of the body, and release. One more time, stretch, and release, and then just circle the ankles, change and circle the other way, and then placing your legs on the chair again. Maybe move yourself a little bit closer or bring the chair a little bit more in, but you want to feel completely supported. Placing one hand onto your belly, placing one hand into the center of your chest, above your heart, and then just once again, close your eyes and just allow yourself to completely surrender, releasing your body weight into the ground below you and onto the chair. Let your breath slow down. Feeling the rise and the fall of your chest and your belly underneath your hands. Scanning yourself from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. Noticing any areas of tension. Using your breath, your exhale to soften and release. Taking one final deep inhale through your nose, filling your body with oxygen, with energy. Hold for a moment, and then slowly sigh out. Take your time as you blink your eyes open, and you're going to roll onto one side. So just rolling onto your side, nice and easy. Pressing yourself all the way upright. And then you're going to come and turn to face towards your chair, bringing yourself up onto your knees. So you place your hands on the chair, stepping one foot underneath, press into your hands, stepping all the way up, lifting up nice and tall. And we're going to take one deep inhale, reach up. exhale, open arms wide, and relax. Fabulous. How do you feel?
Good.
Nice and gentle.
Yes.
Awesome. And I know it seems silly, but that end little section of actually getting up is just so valuable for anybody who has mobility issues. So if you're on the floor, literally, and you can't get up, it's a very effective way to assist yourself, hey? All right.